Mumbai, India's maximum city, the home of both its commerce and its entertainment. And it turns out, a whole lot of powerful startups. That's why this week we're crisscrossing the city, getting to know many of the most innovative startup founders and their big ideas. Parenting and baby care. In a country like India, this segment is recession-proof. That's why today, we've decided to introduce you to a venture that aims to connect parents with advice, opportunities, events, and brands that they can do with their kids. This is Kidsstoppress. Armed with their first round of funding, this venture has big plans of scaling up. Let's find out what Kidsstoppress is all about.
When Shah was pregnant, many questions ran through her mind. How will I manage work? How much should I be feeding my baby? And even after her son was born, she was always in a quandary if she was raising him the right way.
When my son was 3 years old, and I was looking out for a lot of play schools and nurseries, and I had shortlisted a couple of them and was really confused. And I wanted suggestions from some people, and I was looking through the blogs, and I came across the community started by Mansi Zaveri of Kidsstoppress. And I really found a lot of information on the blog related to a lot of schools she had written, and I contacted her and she really helped me out.
Getting buried with information of Google or the advice by friends and family is a common occurrence in parenting. Relieving parents of the multitude of research is Kidsstoppress, founded by Mansi Zaveri. The desire to help parents make informed decisions. The desire to make a difference. These are the ideologies that bind this startup to its founder. Meet Mansi Zaveri, founder and blogger-in-chief at Kidsstoppress. With more than 8 years of experience in advertising and branding, retail and lifestyle, Mansi bit the entrepreneurial bug in 2011 and hasn't looked back since then. Mansi has created a platform that covers every aspect of a child's life, be it food, travel, shopping, events or services. But how does Kidsstoppress do this? And how did the idea of such a startup come into play?
Kidsstoppress is a multi-channel digital platform that connects parents to different brands, services and events across the country. Very simply put, it's about simplifying parenting, because today the parent is exposed to so many different choices and he's really flustered with actually the paradox of choice, and that's why Kidsstoppress is that one-stop platform that will kind of simplify parenting for him.
Kidsstoppress positions itself as a one-stop guide to raising kids by connecting parents to brands, services and events. Kidsstoppress delivers both proprietary and secondary content through their website and social media channels like Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud and even offline events. With a team of just 8 people, the company has a digital reach of over 1 million through their various verticals. But let's hear more about these verticals from the founder herself.
We have a radio station that's dedicated for children and a conversational channel for parents as well. We have our YouTube channel, which we call KSP TV, which again is giving out non-animated content in the Indian scenario and probably the largest one in that space. We already have the store, which we've launched very recently. And the best part is because we understand you, the consumer, we understand what your preferences are, like which city are you coming from, how old are your kids. We can cognitively have all of these platforms or verticals reach out to you in different mediums.
The parenting and baby care segment in India is a very large opportunity, but is also fragmented and very local in terms of culture and geography. Kidsstoppress seems to have got their plans charted out, but a platform with a whole host of properties? Well, we have our questions set for the founder. What is Kidsstoppress' core USP? Parenting and baby care segment in India is fragmented. Will Kidsstoppress manage to hold ground? What is the scale and scope for a startup like Kidsstoppress in India?
Now, parenting and baby care is a really fragmented segment here in India. How do you sort of keep everyone together?
I think that's precisely what works at our advantage. Because the segment is so fragmented, there was enough incentive for us to kind of bring it all under one roof. And now Kidsstoppress is an enormously successful brand with a large overarching umbrella. And what happens is, until now, information on parenting and childcare was disseminated in a very, like you said, a very fragmented way. You were probably WhatsApping people and messaging and looking at or calling up your mom or your closest aunt or your elder sister. That's how information was passed on. But we realized the need gap in the market, and that's exactly the gap that we're trying to fill, is to make it all come under one roof through the most accessible media, which is digital, right?
So what is Kidsstoppress's USP?
The biggest complication in parents' mind is that there's so much of information that's constantly being processed, right? So I don't know how to get pregnant, what's the right age, or once I'm already pregnant, oh, ye mat karo, wo mat karo, don't do this, this will happen. Or once you have a baby, feed the baby this way, bathe the baby this way. There's so much of constant information that gives us a leverage of curating information and presenting information in a cognitive fashion, right? So today we know, okay, Anu is from this city. This is her preference in terms of what she likes to read and do with her kids. This is the age of her child, and she's more outdoors, indoors, or is she a child who has special needs? That will help us throw information in a more cognitive fashion to our readers, and I think that's what makes it really special.
That's great. I was actually going to ask you about that. That raising kids is probably the most sensitive or maybe vulnerable space. You guys have a great deal of authority in that case. What did it take to sort of earn that legitimacy?
It's taken us a long time to build a consumer trust. And I think any business who is a consumer-centric business needs to build that trust in their user base, right? So, like a lot of readers, when we ask them this, they say that we've seen the Kidsstoppress team actually be present at that review, or we've actually seen them talking to consumers.
Now, is there some idea or skill that you've incorporated into Kidsstoppress that's really made a difference for the startup?
I think what's important for most brands to be successful in the years to come, is to be present in that little handset. And that's exactly what we're driving towards. We're driving towards being a mobile-first company. And increasingly, a large part of mobile penetration is going to happen not from the metros, but tier 2, tier 3 cities. That's where the next 300 million people are going to join in. And that's what we're targeting. We're targeting not only being only app or whatever, because they may or may not have accessibility to that app because of the handsets that they use, but that experience, which will be very, very critical. So that's why I say mobile first will be very important for our business, because that's, today India has about 135 children being born every single year, and that's only going to grow by 20% every year. So that's the kind of size of population that we're looking at.
There's no question that Kidsstoppress is on the vanguard of an idea that should have existed a long time ago. After all, we've been giving parenting advice in this country forever. But Kidsstoppress does it in a unique way, and I think that a lot of people can avail from some great opportunities and advice. That said, it does remain quite niche, and its audience isn't everybody at this point. So I wonder if they'll broaden their base further. Anyway, that's my verdict on Kidsstoppress. Let's hear what the mentors have to say about it.
Meet Ashish Taneja, co-founder and managing director of GrowX Ventures, an early-stage investment firm. Ashish works with a plethora of startups very closely and has a keen eye to spot the 1 in a million, or in our case, 1 in a billion. Our second mentor is Vikram Upadhyay, the founding chief mentor at GHV Accelerator. Vikram has been actively associated with angel networks through his career and founded GHV Accelerator in 2014.
Kidsstoppress have to think about a disruption around how to bring the ecosystem of a parenting. If they can bring an innovation, a disruption where they can bring this ecosystem and keeping the kids close to the near and dear ones along with the parents, I think that will not only build the stickiness, but a kind of a unique differentiator in the market for them.
Kidsstoppress, very interesting play. There's a lot going on globally on the baby parent space, trying to use content to create a community into commerce, right? So I think early days for Kidsstoppress, but whatever is done so far is very interesting. I really like the way they kind of mixed and used different mediums. And I think where they need to focus on is making sure that content translates into community. They should perhaps ignore the commerce part to start with, and they want to make sure that they have repeat users, they have high referrals, people keep coming back to them for unique content.
Startup founders are an intriguing lot. Some are nervous, others are overconfident. Some know how to make the perfect pitch, others often land themselves in an embarrassing situation. Making a pitch can be a daunting task. So today, we've spoken with mentors and startup founders about what are some of the worst or most embarrassing things that they've said or heard during a pitch. This is a very different kind of state of the startup.
The most embarrassing thing, it was our first pitch. We were actually meeting a couple of people just to brainstorm as to where we should go in terms of strategy. And both Jharna and I were a part of this meeting in Bombay. In fact, she and I both said different figures when we were asked about our profitability. So that was one of the most embarrassing, that hello, you don't even know what your profit figures are.
I was hearing a pitch from an entrepreneur. First question which generally we as investors ask, so where you are going to spend money? He said, yeah, I'm going to buy the first bike. And that was quite a good lesson for us. We should be very clear in telling them that we are not here to donate money, it's like to multiply the money.
So, we were pitching to a clutch of investors, and it was more like, 2-minute elevator pitch. One of the VCs, mentioned of some Chinese company, and he had read about that particular company in some bad light. We never researched about the Chinese company, right? So we never knew such a player is there. So we never knew that, what were the pros and cons, or whether that business is actually the right business to be able to link to us or not. It was a tough scenario. So the learning for us was, Google your competitors, even though you might have to Google them in Chinese also.